Hi everybody, welcome back to 100% Max. So Newcastle United, of course, took on Arsenal down at the Emirates yesterday, and of course the scoreline was as predicted. Arsenal coming away from the game with a win. Of course, that was a 3-0 win against us down at the Emirates yesterday. And I've got to say, Steve Bruce said going into this game that he was going to do things his way, the gloves were going to be off. And yes, fair enough, he did change the team up from the game that were played against Sheffield United. He went with 4 at the back this time against Arsenal, though, which is quite questionable. If you look at the squad, there's not much energy in the squad. You can see the players don't seem to be feeling the tactics of Steve Bruce. You can see that the true system at the club as well isn't there to be shown. There's no sign of it whatsoever. Unfortunately, there's no remnants of what was seen when Rafa Benitez was here in charge of the club. And you've got to be thinking, how long does Steve Bruce still have at the club? How long until Mike Ashley finally pulls the trigger and finally gets rid of Steve Bruce from the club? Because this is 7 games now in the Premier League that we haven't picked up a win. It's 9 games in all competitions as well that we haven't picked up a win. And it is looking really bad at this moment in time. That game is not a shining endorsement for what Steve Bruce said he was going to do. He was saying that he was going to take the gloves off, he was going to do it his way. What's the difference between his way and the way we've been playing in the previous games? Because it looks exactly the same to me. You've got to be looking at how the team's playing. There's enough talent in that squad this season to at least get a mid-table finish. Under the right guidance, under the right manager, we could be pushing for a mid-table spot. But under Steve Bruce, he just doesn't have the tactics. He doesn't have a plan B. You can see that. You can see he's out of his depth in the management of Newcastle. So why doesn't the lad just step aside, realise that his time's up at the club? And if he's such a big Newcastle United fan as he says he is, he would do that for the safety of the club and for the stature of the club, to just move aside, realise that you're not the man to take the club forward. And Mike Ashley's got to be thinking as well, it's time to get rid of Steve Bruce, because we are literally going closer and closer to that relegation zone, and we are looking more and more like we're going to be in a relegation scrap come the end of the season. Look at Fulham. Fulham's 18th in the Premier League. They've got 12 points. Newcastle's 15th in the Premier League. We have 19 points. There's not much of a difference in the points gap between the two sides. And literally after that game yesterday, Arsenal now move up to 10th in the league with 27 points. It is looking really, really bad for us Newcastle fans at this moment in time. And we've got Aston Villa coming up on Sunday, which is the match that we didn't get to play due to the COVID incident going on at the club, where we had to literally cancel that game and rearrange it. And this is now a game in hand. They're currently sitting 11th in the Premier League, so if we play the way we've played against Sheffield United and Arsenal in the game against Aston Villa, I think it's going to be another defeat. And I hate to say that, because I love Newcastle United with all my heart, but the way Steve Bruce is managing this team is absolutely beyond a joke. He needs to literally step down and move away from the club and let somebody else come in, like Eddie Howe or somebody more in that stature of a manager, because I don't think we'll be attracting world-class managers to a club at this moment in time. And as for the takeover, it couldn't come any quicker. We really need it now with what's going on at this club. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Also touching on a moment in the match as well, which you'll see up on screen now, the ball going out of play and then VAR saying that it was actually in play. let us know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. In my opinion, I thought it was out of play. I did put a tweet out about it as well on my Twitter, saying what your thoughts are on it. To be honest, I thought it was out of play, but there's quite a few people saying that they thought it was still in play. But I'd love to know what you think down in the comments below. As always, remember, like, share, subscribe to the channel as well. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, so if we can reach that by the end of March, it'll be absolutely amazing. Until next time, I'll see you all later, and however lads.